went from ground zero, enrolls, and 3 years later goes platinum. Goes platinum. We're talking pushing $1 million a year, guys. In 3 years, she's not from Australia, because a whole bunch of people in North America are going, yeah, but that's Australia, it's different here. I'm telling you, she did it in North America, okay? And I just want to share with you what happened is she got on the product for her health, okay? It wasn't to do the business. And after the first month of being on these amazing products, she gave up a 16-year career with another direct sales company. She's building another direct sales business, doing extremely well. And because of these products, because of the product experience, she walked away from that other business, resigned, because she's a lady of extreme integrity. At the end of her first year, she was 3-star Golden Circle, 2-star Crystal Executive, meaning she created 2 executives beneath her. So year 1, she got to a 6-figure income. And let me tell you, she worked her butt off. Okay, 3 years into it, she's being recognized as a woman of Isagenix. She got recognized as the 246th millionaire in Isagenix. And one of her biggest, I think, reasons for success, and this is part of what the training tonight is all about, is her very simple, duplicatable system and strategies that she implements to literally simplify everything. And we put on the Take Action 2018 page that welcome post. And we're going to get into it because it's the very first step in setting people up right, and it sort of lays the foundation. So it is my absolute treat this evening to welcome to the line Rachel Thomas. How you doing, Rachel?
Hi, Warren. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I was kind of looking around like, who's he talking about? She sounds amazing.
She is amazing.
Well, thank you. My head just kind of grew a little bit, but I appreciate the introduction.
Well, let's be honest. What you accomplished was extraordinary. And I know Arlene and I were having lunch with you and JT, that's Rachel's husband, and you guys will just go, hey, we're just ordinary people. And the reality is, okay, maybe you are just ordinary people, but guess what? You rolled up your sleeves, both of you, and you got to serious work. So let's roll back the clock 3 years, because I know everyone's dying to find out, like, what got you to initially try the product in the first place?
Well, I just saw my friend losing weight on Facebook. She had been posting some pictures, and I actually almost unfriended her because I wasn't losing weight, so I didn't care that she was. She was kind of annoying me, actually, but yet I couldn't help watch her journey. And she actually came over to my house one day. It was she'd been in the business 5 weeks. She came over to my house to pick up some spices, and I took one look at her and I thought, wow, she looks amazing. Not just the weight loss, but it was this glow on her skin. You know, the glow, the Isoglow we all talk about? She just looked really healthy. And I said, you know, I want to feel better. I'd given up on losing weight because I'd tried so many different products. I just wanted to feel better. I wanted to have half the energy she had that night. And so I went ahead and, like, literally she said, I have an enrollment form in my car. I can get you started today. It's so weird because I don't know that I was meaning to sign up for something, but she was all prepared and ready to go. So I signed up. You probably have heard of her. Her name's Trudy Maples. But I signed on with her 5 weeks into her business. And I was not going to do anything else because I was very happy in the company that I was working for. We worked for the same company at the time, and I was loving what I was doing. It's kind of like the way all of us feel when we're just like, when things are cruising along and everything's great. I had no idea that I was looking for something else. And then all of a sudden there was something else in my lap. And I was smart enough to know that my last product that I sold wasn't consumable. It was something that I had to keep selling over and over and over again. And I knew that 16 years into the business, I had already kind of committed to something, and I didn't want to keep looking around. I just kept my, my
Blinders.
blinders on. So I knew how to kind of keep my blinders on. But I couldn't get over the fact that this was making me feel so good. It was after 5 days. I felt like I'd swallowed a rainbow. And I wanted to tell people, because I love to tell people when something's going right. So, but I couldn't. I wasn't allowed. I had signed an agreement when I was 23 years old that I wouldn't sell two things, that I'd only sell this one product. And I knew that if I was going to share this with somebody, I couldn't do that with integrity. So for that whole first month, I felt this massive amount of fear. Like, I want to talk about this, but I can't. So it's just this constant like nagging and this drive, this conviction. I don't know if any of you have ever felt that, where when Isagenix gets inside of you, it's like you can't not share. And so that's just kind of what happened to me. And finally, I was losing sleep at night, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I said to my husband, I know what I have to do. I have to give up my team. And he goes, what? No, wait, because I was making a little bit of a residual income, like $5,000 a month was my monthly take home with this other company. And
that's after 16 years.
Yeah, and I was proud of that, because that was pretty good for a stay-at-home, mom gig. But I really just felt something. I felt like if I would do this, that I could bring more to people's lives, because there's something about the end of your life. I think I'd recently just been to a funeral, and I heard somebody talk about their life and how their life was not, people are talking about life and what their life was for. And I thought, gosh, I'm going to really feel sad when all people say at the end of my life is I'm really good at cooking. I wanted my life to mean something. And so this just felt worth my life, if that makes any sense at all. It felt like something that would actually help people. I could actually make a difference, and I could actually change people's health and their life. So I did. I went all in. I just dropped what I was doing, and I had some money in savings. I had 4 months worth of money in savings, and I needed to make $3,000 a month, you guys. So my plan after the 4 months, so I had $12,000 in savings. After 4 months, that I would be making $3,000 a month. So I did all the math and the strategy, and I figured out if I enrolled 2 people a week with a value pack every single week, that by the time that this 4 months was up, I should be cycling 10 times a week, plus 2 value packs. The PIBs on that would be my $3,000. So I had it all worked out. So in order to enroll 2 people a week, I had to make 20 conversations a week, because that's the odds. 2 out of 10, or 1 out of 10 will sign up. So I had to have 20 really good conversations, which I broke down to 3 a day. Are you tracking the math? It's pretty simple if you're really consistent with it. I had to have 3 really fabulous, really good conversations every single day to enroll 2 people a week to have my goal met. And so I just went to work to do that, because I was a girl that did 2 shows every single week. So I knew how to make this work. And I just did it 2 a week, no matter what. For the first 8 months, I had 2 a week, no matter what, 75 enrollments in 8 months. And I think that's what Eric Worre talks about when he says getting your airplane off the ground. You have to give it a really massive push and a massive effort to get your airplane off the ground. I also knew I wanted to be an executive, so I needed to rank advance at least 1 person every single week. So the way that I did that was with home tasting parties, health and wellness events. The launch parties, I guess Isagenix called them launch parties, but I love food, so I would always make shakes for people and cut up bars and let people taste it. So I was having these events once a week so that I could have a thing for people to come to. Whether the event was at my house, I committed to once a month, every single month at my house. And then I would try to get one of my new team members to have one at their house because I was enrolling 2 people a week, so I could at least talk one of the 2 into having me come over and make a shake for their friends. I just made it real simple. Oh, just, invite your friends over. I'll make them a shake. Let them try some bars. If they're going to ask you the question, what are you doing anyway? Let's just let them taste it. Let's let them try it. So that was kind of how I did it. That first 8 months was just very consistent with that. So I was rank advancing 1 a week, because we know from the math that if you have 10 people on your team, 2 of them will be builders. We saw these statistics when Isagenix shared that 84% of our company is happy product users, 83% is happy product users, and 17% are builders. So if you're looking at your team and you have 10 people and you're thinking, oh my gosh, why aren't they all enrolling people? You really only should have 17%. So if you have 100 people, 17 of them will be builders, because that's the math. So what we do is we look at statistics and we look at math and we break it down into something that's small, simple, and duplicatable. When you look at a goal like executive, you can actually physically get to executive in 90 days if you follow this formula. 3 really good conversations every single day yields 2 enrollments a week, yields 20, you're going to need to have 100 enrollments, because to have, 50 enrollments. Sorry, I started to stress everybody out, I know. 50 enrollments equals 10 consultants with this math. So that's just how it is. 50 enrollments is 25 weeks of 2 a week, 3 conversations a day. So if you're a math and statistics person, just break it down. This is just the law of averages. It's hearing no a lot of times. Like no, a million times no. I've heard it a million times, because those of us in the upper echelon of the company, those making the most money, I've heard no more times than it'll make your head spin. And some of us still get so stifled by a no, and that's just so silly, because we have to hear 84 no's before we hear 17 yeses from our team being builders. Does that make sense?
You're absolutely right there. Now, let's back up, because I
got all excited. Sorry.
I know, and it's great. Let's first of all back up. So what was your sort of physical experience putting the product in your body for 30 days? What happened for Rachel?
I lost 15 pounds, and it was about 15 inches also. Okay. I was noticing my belly was kind of shrinking down. And more importantly, I wasn't starving all day. I used to always be I overate simply because I never felt full, and these shakes really filled me up. I was surprised at how nutritious it was, and it started to occur to me that if our body is getting the nutrition it needs, it no longer craves more food. I didn't need to eat and overeat all the time just to feel some sort of a void in my body. My body was getting what it needed. And I was starting to brighten up, and I was coming alive, and my skin was coming up. I used to have cystic acne all over my face, and just a lot of things. And so people were coming up to me saying, oh my gosh, you look amazing. I was called stunning 3 times that month, and I had never been called stunning in my life. So this was like a really big deal. I was feeling so, well, this whole thing, I just felt really good to hear these compliments and hear people were seeing a difference. And I wasn't really telling people yet, because I was, not allowed to, but people were asking. So if we're sitting around waiting for people to ask, apparently they will. They'll say the golden question. They'll say, what are you doing? You look amazing. So what I simply try to do with all of my people, the business builders and the ones that say they're just going to try the products and see how it goes, because most of my team has always said that. My top leaders have all said, I'm going to wait and see how it works within me. I ask them this: will you listen for a golden question? The golden question being, what are you doing? Because people will start asking. I start vision casting from that very first conversation. People will be coming up to you just like you came up to me, noticing a change, and they're going to ask you what you're doing. You can either tell them at that point, or you can tell them now so they don't hate you later that you kept this a secret for a couple months. And I simply just say, wouldn't you be ticked if I didn't tell you right away? If I waited to tell you, you would be mad, because you could be on your journey with me. So it's just kind of a simple conversation, but I'm always talking about, you're going to look so incredible. You're going to glow. I ask them, what's your favorite color? And they'll tell me their favorite color. I'll say, what do you love to wear? So if they say my favorite color is purple and they love to wear a sundress, I'll say, okay, imagine in a couple weeks or a couple months, you're walking into a party and you're wearing a purple sundress. How do you want to feel and how do you want to look? I really like to vision cast with them, get them thinking about that moment of walking in to a beach party or wherever they're going. You know, usually somebody will say, I'm going to a wedding in a couple of months, or I've got this trip coming up, or a high school reunion. Or a lot of times people really get, like when we get them in, a lot of times they have something in the future that they're planning to look nice for. So I really like to help them visualize that feeling. And so they're totally excited about the products at this point. The only pack I sell is the value pack. That's the only one that I ever even give any notice to. Again, because of statistics, 93% retention is what I heard at my very first Isagenix experience. Mac Larson told me 93% retention on the value pack. And that stuck with me versus the 70% retention with the 30-day. And I don't know if those statistics are still statistics, but that's what it was, 2.5 years ago when I started. So that tells me that I want people to have a 7% failure rate instead of a 30% failure rate. I don't want to start somebody with a 30-day if they have a 30% chance of failure. I know that when they put skin in the game, they'll put these products into their body. And I know that the value pack is the right one, because that's the one I started with. And for those people who are naysayers and they're not sure, I say, if you ever plan to sell Isagenix in the future, if you ever plan to make money doing this, you're going to want to start with a value pack, because that's the one you can stand behind forever in a day. And that actually has caused a lot of people just to be like, well, she's right about that. So, and you get a 30-day money-back guarantee either way you play it. So let's just go with the one. I always talk about the value pack like it's the whole enchilada, and the other packs are like the enchilada without the cheese and the sauce. And I don't want to eat that enchilada for 30 days. I want to eat this one, So it's a foodie in me that really gets people with the whole enchilada. Is my final nail in the coffin with the value pack.
I love it.
Here's some word choices for you.
Well, it is all about languaging. That's why I love listening to, be it Herb Cepeda, be it Susan Sly. I mean, because what we all have to remember is we all have the same compensation plan. We all have the same products. We all have the same ownership. Yet some people do incredibly well while others don't. And the whole difference is us. It's what am I prepared to do today? And you clearly, once you got through your initial 30 days, you put a game plan together and you started to execute it. And right. I just want to ask this question. When you started to execute this, because it's really interesting. I just finished interviewing the 28th millionaire on the Take Action team, Daniel and Mark Slew. And they go, you're always able to hit restart and just restart and change your course of action, change your daily activities, and magic can happen. So with you going down to your first 4 months, you looked at it and you said, okay, great. I need to hit that 3,000 a month. And you mapped it out and you literally got to work. Did you actually hit that in your first 4 months?
That is a great question, Warren. I actually made $12,000 in September of 2015, and that was the month I was slated and hoping that I'd make $3,000. So I quadrupled my goal. What I hadn't really planned on was the residual nature of what we sell, and how I was so used to selling something and having to go back and sell it again and having to go back and sell it again. So a month that goes by, and all the people from month one, May of 2015, were ordering again in June. So I was starting over, but it was like compound interest. And I'd never experienced that before.
No, I love it. So you laid out the course of action. I'm going to recap it for people. Your goal was to hit 3,000 a month. And when you look
and so I had a 4-month plan that May, June, July, August. May, June, July, August. So by September 1st, I wanted to be making $3,000 a month in September.
And the way you broke it down was you needed to speak to 3 people a day, which meant 20 conversations. Mm-hmm. The goal was to enroll 2 people a week. Mm-hmm. 2 people a week for 4 months straight. Now, from your experience now over the last 3 years, if we brought in a brand new individual, be it male or female, and they were prepared to execute on that plan, have the conversations, to get those 2 enrollments a week, do you believe after 4 months they should be at least hitting $3,000 a month income? What do you believe in your
Well, if they're enrolling with value packs, again, I think it still boils down to the value pack because it's got such high retention and high results. I think it's the results that people get from the value pack, having the snacks, the different things to just kind of make the experience better. They're more likely to reorder. Their baskets are higher. We also start people on the IsaBody challenge right away, and we start people on Healthy Mind and Body in month 2. Because usually it's in month 2 or 3 where they start to kind of waver a little bit with their goal. And that's when you introduce Healthy Mind and Body to help people, because all of these are programs meant to help increase retention and increase order baskets. So
now, hang on. I'm going to interrupt you because you shared 2 key things there. You start people immediately on IsaBody challenge, right? So can we sort of have you share your languaging? Imagine you just enrolled one of us on the line, be it Liz, be it Stu, Nathan, whoever it is, and you just enrolled them. They've agreed to come in with the value pack. What is your languaging to cause Nathan, who happens to be a ambulance attendant, okay, what, ambulance or firefighter? Ambulance. It's ambulance. Sorry, I was having a little brain fog. Both, okay. What would you say to him to cause him to go, okay, I'll sign up for IsaBody challenge? Like what's your
Nathan, are you a competitive guy at all? Like, do you like to compete in any way?
My best and worst qualities, I think.
Okay, so see, I'm competitive by nature too. So there's this really cool thing that Isagenix offers just right out of the gate. It's a free entry to a challenge where you can you can win $25,000 cash, all these prizes and trips. But what I really care the most about is no matter what, just taking a photo from in the beginning and a photo 4 months later. So it's a 16-week challenge. Sorry. It's a 16-week challenge that at the end of the 16 weeks, they'll give you $200 in Isagenix product credit coupons. So should we get some pictures taken so we can get you entered right away? That's it.
All right. I like it.
Okay. And then you end with this, should we take some pictures? Sure, let's take some pictures. If you have pushback, if someone's like, I don't really want my pictures, you know what? You can take your own pictures and you can enter it right into the IsaBody challenge. I'll make sure to send you the link. It's part of the next little special feature I'm going to show you in a minute, Warren.
But again, guys, it's the languaging. There's a reason why Rachel and her team have created such dynamic results. It's languaging. They're just doing little things slightly different than the rest of us. But if we start implementing the same little actions on a consistent basis, we're going to start to see the same sort of results. So fantastic there. Now, again, part of your success is obviously your simple duplicatable systems, okay? And we're going to get into that in just a moment.
When are you going to let me share this?
I know, but just we touched on IsaBody challenge. What you're saying is you get them going with IsaBody, but as soon as, be it month 2, month 3, whenever that point is when people are starting to wean, and if you're in contact with your cleansers, which we all should be, you know when they're starting to lose a little bit of interest. That's when you encourage them to get into Healthy Mind and Body, correct?
Right.
And what is, just again in your words, how do you encourage me? How do you encourage whoever it is? Cherie, how do you encourage someone to, okay, I'll sign up?
I start people on Healthy Mind and Body at any point when I feel like that they're having trouble with something like food addiction. I actually discovered I had a food addiction as I was new in the program. In fact, I still struggle with that. It's like a tiger. Now, with people who have any other sort of addiction, let's say it's alcohol or drug use or something, they can take that tiger and they can put it in a cage and keep it in a cage. I have to take my tiger out and pet it like 4 to 5 times a day. And so the food addiction is really real. And because I actually have gone through that myself, I can recognize in other people when they're struggling with something like that on the program. So that's what I think. Me personally, I've gone through Healthy Mind and Body, I think 3 times, and I started a 4th one just last week because I have a new team member who I could tell was going to need to go through the program. So a lot of times I can't, with integrity, share the program if I'm not doing it myself. I'm always in an IsaBody challenge, and I'm always doing Healthy Mind and Body because I want to be fresh on what we're learning about and what we're speaking about. And if I'm going to ask them to do it, I want to be able to do it too. So as I've gotten busier, I want to still make that a priority to do those things. One thing I love about Healthy Mind and Body is it takes your own words and it uses them against you in a way. Like, you said you were going to do this, and like 3 weeks later, all of a sudden your own handwriting is popping up and you're like, oh shoot. I can argue with somebody else, but I can't argue with myself. I did say that. And so it's really powerful, especially for people struggling with real mental blocks, because it's the mental blocks. If we hear David Wood say that this is a personal development journey with the financial, with money associated with it. And if anybody knew the amount of personal development I've been journeying the last 2.5 years since I started Isagenix, you would know I've earned every penny that I've made because I work so hard at my mindset stuff. It's a daily process. And if you're not pouring into personal development, you're missing the whole point of what we do here. What we're doing is we're helping people become a better version of themselves every single day, whether it's mentally, whether it's spiritually, whether it's physically. We are working on these muscles. We're helping people change for the better. And because of that, we're going to be under attack. And we are going to be under attack by lots of different things, whether it's our own pain, our own addictions, and our own stuff. So when Isagenix came out with the Healthy Mind and Body program, I was so grateful that we are behind a company that cares so much about us that they would invest. They pay, I think, $300 for every $39 that we pay. So they are investing in us every single time we take that program. And I take that investment very seriously, and I like to tell people about it. So it's just one of the tools in my tool belt to help people.
I love it. Love it. Okay. So let's jump into, because I know the way your mind works. One, I can feel your enthusiasm.
You know that I have ADD and I'm all over the place, right?
Yeah, but you got your enthusiasm, right? People will come from miles around to watch you radiate this passion. So with that, one of your strongest attributes is to take all these different websites, all these different things, and simplify it down so that your new person has a great product experience. And what we ended up sharing was the welcome post that you put together. I know Tanya Kirkpatrick uses it, Trudy, Jill Bowman,
Lynn Michael Klaus, Lynn Hagedorn, Mike. There's a lot of people, the cicadas, the noise.
So can you take us through, I mean, basically, and I know you like to talk to the person, get them enrolled.
Sorry, go ahead.
Once you get them enrolled, you like to send them this welcome post. And tonight, I know we could have much more from you, but tonight, can we go through sort of like the welcome post, the thought behind it, and how we can leverage it to our maximum benefit?
Sure. Now, first of all, everybody, if you look in your chat feature, I just typed in the welcome post. So if you want to be listening to me, but you can click on it. This is interactive time. You can, no more zoning out. It's time to click on the Welcome to ISA link that I just posted. Now, this is something that you can copy and paste in a text or in a Facebook message. And the reason that this is so vital and so key is because when somebody has just invested this money, when they've just given you $559, or I guess it's $589 now, plus tax, shipping, whatever, when they've invested in their value pack, they're so excited and they're so nervous and they're so scared. And we say something like, oh, go check out this website or this Facebook page. And all of a sudden, it's all this stuff. And how many times have you heard people say, oh my gosh, I'm totally overwhelmed? Raise your hand if you've ever heard that. Okay, so this whole system, I felt overwhelmed. I was a network marketer, And I was massively overwhelmed by all the stuff that was coming at me. And it felt like a fire hose in my mouth, and I was trying to drink. And it was so overwhelming and so stressful. And I remember thinking, this is too much. I can't manage this, and I know what I'm doing. Like, what the heck is anybody else going to do? So I found something I liked, and I made a note out of it. And I found something I liked, and I made a note out of it. I used the app called Evernote. It's an app that I've been using for 5 years, 6 years. I took something I liked, and I made a note. I took something I liked, and I made a note. Think of Evernote as a binder system, and the notes are the pages in the binder. So I was just making pages of notes in my binder, a virtual binder that I have on my phone at all times. Okay, so Evernote, that's your quick little description of what it is. I would highly encourage you, if you don't already use this app, to learn this app because it's in symposiums. Universities are using it. It's a very important app. Now, I'm not going to teach you Evernote. That's your job. Google it. You know, there's lots of great videos, free stuff you can pay for. There's even a link to my friend's little Evernote training embedded in my master note system. So just give me a second. So I'm going to show you what this is like. Has everybody clicked on the welcome note by now? I am going to share my screen, and I'm going to attempt to show you my phone via this cable that I just unplugged because I couldn't remember why I had the cable plugged in. My husband's usually here to make sure I don't mess this part up. Share screen. All right. Are we seeing oh my gosh, is it happening? This is me. This is my phone. Okay, so let's say that I have a new consultant, and his name is Warren Lance. I just got Warren. It's so exciting. So I'm going to go to Warren, and I'm going to type WCM. This is my welcome note, and I'm going to send it. So I have it down to the science where right when Warren has just gotten started, he receives this welcome link. Now, all he has to do is touch it. So before I hang up the phone on the enrollment, I say, hey, Warren, just before I get off the phone with you, I want to send you a little something. It's going to give you all the information that we talked about in nuggets that you can digest. So what I'd like for you to do, and I send him the note, I say, did you just get this welcome note I sent? Why don't you just touch this, just touch it. And, oh shoot, something's happening. Okay, touch the note, there you go, and open it up for me, would you? So what is it that people care the most about when they're brand new in Isagenix? What do you think it is? They don't care about a dang thing except how to do a shake day, right? So I say, would you just click on this little link that says how to rock out a shake day? Okay, there you go. And now they have on their phone access to the little planner here. There's snack options for shake days. There's shake recipes, because remember how I was a chef before? So I had to cook me up some shakes. Oh, yes, I did. So there's all these different shake ideas because, you know, we need to have variety. How many calories should they eat? That talks them through how to use MyFitnessPal to figure out what's good for them. But this is basically what they need. They can also click on this little link here, and it'll take them right to the Isagenix How to Do a Shake Day video that they just came out with. So it's this brand new video, all embedded. Everything is embedded to be within the system. Okay, let me go back to welcome. The welcome note. Everything's also super searchable in Evernote. So this is the main note that I use, and all I talk about is how to rock out a shake day, and they go, oh, this is great. And then I say there's some other little links on there, including how to join the IsoBody Challenge that we talked about. If you're interested, just go and peruse through there. This is what they need to know when they need to know it, and nothing more. This is all they need to know in the beginning. And if you ever forgot what that link was, you just copy and paste that little welcome to ISO link there into a message. You're going to want to save it in your own phone. If you have downloaded Evernote as an app, you can save it to your Evernote, but using this link will do the biggest updates. So you can just copy and paste it. There is nothing within this Evernote that's going to bring people back to me. It's something that I keep really clean and clear from any individual or any person, so you can feel safe knowing that you can use this just to send people right when they're brand new. I also kept it pretty simple because I want it to look like it could have been coming from anybody. I don't want it to look like overly like crazy. But just to show you how powerful this is, if somebody were to click on the Getting Started link, for example, it's going to hyperlink them back to their back office, their associate back office. There's the video about the new value pack right there. Let's say they clicked on Ionic Supreme. It's going to take them to Isagenix tools. Everything hyperlinks back to the Isagenix tools. So it's going to show them all about Ionic Supreme and how to buy it. So that's all easily embedded within there. And what happens after you show them the Shake Day note, they go home and they're like, their mind is spinning and they want to know everything. They start reading all of these things. They go in to take your measurements and they see how to measure themselves. And there's even their tracker that they can print. So that is all just right there at the click of a button. And it's our welcome note. And everybody in our team is using it. Because when I was brand new, I was compiling this for myself. I was keeping all the really important information. And when my first person enrolled, they said, well, what do I do? And I said, well, here, let me send you this little thing. And I've changed it a little bit, but not a lot. I mean, this is really truly just from the brain of somebody who's built a team with a lot of people over 16 years. And this was just a very simple system that I started using from the get-go, and it seems to have gone over really well. The other thing that I did since then, and I'll show you, is my Evernote systems.
So, Rachel, quick question for you from Cherie. She's saying, have you done away with a personal welcome letter with their username, web address, password?
I don't do that. No, because you have to be sitting at your computer usually to add all these attachments to it and then send it. And I need to be able to do this from Bali. So I have it all on Evernote because Evernote is in the cloud and it's something that I can literally work from anywhere. I just sent you my whole system of notes right there where, I should put that in the chat. Although somebody else is going to have to copy it. Warren, you might have to copy it and put it in the chat because I can't from the way that my phone is set up. But
but I guess the question is like with a new person, when we send a welcome letter out, we like to give them their username, their password, because when you set them up, you've created their password. Now, Isagenix will also email them a letter with that information.
Oh,
so you don't.
I see what you're saying. I send them a screenshot of their bill. Sorry, I had to move to where my computer, I guess that sucked my battery down really fast to share my screen, and my computer's about to die. Sorry about that, not being super prepared. I'm just going to quickly turn on this. Now, you said your question was, do I send it? So I still send an email, or I send the welcome link, and then I send another little something that says your username and password is. If they are local, I live in Arizona, I'll send them the will call directions. It's just like a simple little snippet. I try not to send too much because people get crazy, and they don't want all the overwhelm that comes with oversharing.
Got it.
So let's see. Did I answer that question?
I think you did.
Okay.
Sorry, can I just ask that? It sounds amazing. Like I may be overcomplicating it a little bit, but I just want to ask: do you do an unboxing with anybody? Do you actually guide them through and verbally speak to them and do any of that with them, or is everything on short notice?
I actually do. The second system, the support note, which I think, Warren, did you ever copy that? No. Let me just quickly paste it.
But I didn't get it up.
I'm going to just quickly paste it into the thread. The support note is the second system that I use, and this actually is something I send to everyone when they've been in the business, when they have their first enrollment. And so I'm going to just copy that one now and paste it right into here. Okay, so this is the ISA team note, and this is the second part of my system is when they enroll their first person, they get this note. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but ISAPulse actually will notify you when somebody enrolls their first person in your 4PETD. So even if the person I enrolled or their enroller or their enroller's enroller is not like training them the way that at the level that I would want them trained, I still have access through ISAPulse to be able to send this message. And if I were on my phone, I have a bunch of little text replacements that I've created. Let me see if I can do first. Okay, so for example, I'll type in this message into ISAPulse to somebody who has shared with their very first person, and then I send the ISA team note just like that in ISAPulse. And I can do it just with a few little keystrokes. If you're not familiar with text replacement, that's another really huge time saver. I showed it to Warren. Do you remember, Warren, when I went to, if you have an iPhone, I can only show you if you have an iPhone, but you can create these little quick text replacements to send. So this little congratulations on sharing Isagenix. If you're looking in the chat, this is just what I go into ISAPulse with. And I, let me see if I can, oh, you know what? Let me see if I can add this through AirPlay back on. I really want you guys to see my screen, but I was connected through the cord. And then I had to plug in my computer so it didn't die. Didn't plan that one out very well. I didn't know it was going to suck up my whole battery. But so if you go to the ISA team note under the first tab, if you guys want to click on that with me.
Let me go ISA team.
Under the number 5 choice, so it says, so I send this to the first, the new customer who just enrolled their first person. I let them know, send a welcome note, and the welcome link is there. Announce them on your Facebook Cleanse Coaching page, whatever page it is. Add them to your leader's business page. Share with them what the first 14 days looks like, and that's basically my Cleanse Coaching there. The launching your new consultant to success. That one, click on that one for me, would you, Warren? Launching. This one is really key because I have a new customer form that's really simple to follow. It's just got a little checklist. You might want to click on that. There's also an Evernote training course if you saw that. So this is my little new customer form. You can create it in Evernote or you can print it out. It goes to 2 pages and you can use a binder if you're more a paper person. But when they start, I send them the welcome note. When they do this, when they join Healthy Mind and Body, when they unpack the pack call, that was the answer to the question. If you click on day 1, when the box arrives, unpack the pack call, Warren?
Unpack the pack call right there. In the
Okay, so click on the blue unpack the pack call, like the hyperlink I created. So here's my unpacking the pack call. And this is how they go through their box. And oh, this is what she was talking about. I need to update this. No, don't worry. It'll be updated by tomorrow with waythins and greens. But you can literally walk through this like it's a script. Open your box, grab a Sharpie. Okay, the Ionic Supreme, what you do with that. And I break it into everyday products, shake day products, cleanse days. So this is literally like a script people can walk through when they're brand new. And so even if I'm not the one doing it, this is why this is duplicatable. Because I wouldn't be able to walk everybody through their packs if I have 14,000 team members now in a short time. So I'm always training people to train their teams. I never do it for them. I'm not giving people fish. I'm teaching people how to fish. And so this is just an unpack the pack call. It's all kind of embedded within this, these 3 notes that I use. The welcome note is what you send them when they're brand new. The support note is what you send them when they've enrolled their first person. And then I have a consultant note, which is what you send them when they've ranked advanced to consultant. That one goes more into the bonuses and the compensation plan and all that stuff that we try to tell them in the beginning, but they're not ready yet because they just want to know how to drink a shake.
Now, question for you, because somehow your team is multiplying and growing beautifully. There's this duplication taking place, Rachel. But the support note comes when that new person enrolls the first person. So
Mhm.
you're saying something to them. Your team members are saying something to that new individual to cause them to enroll their first person. So can we?
Well, Warren, that's a secret. I'm not going to tell that one. I'm just kidding. Well, it goes back to that. It goes back to that golden question. We have a Facebook group. We plug people into the Facebook group when they ask the golden question, and they're a little fly on the wall. And then one day they say, "What do you do?" Or, I want to get started. I'm ready. I mean, it's really, that's our simple system for getting people involved. We can throw all of these I can tell everybody how amazing this program is and how, look at me, look how good I look. But guess what? They're not going to believe just me. But when they see 3,000 people in a page that are posting all this stuff, they can't help but want to be a part of our culture. So we just have really good product pages. I mean, it started with Jill Bowman and her Extremely Happy People page. And then it went to, Tracy O'Malley with Strive for Change. And Tanya had Free to Be. And then Trudy and I started Inspiring Lifestyle. Now I have my Glow page. So I also teach my team at some point, you're going to create your own cleanse coaching team. And that usually happens or your own cleanse coaching page. And we have started training that happens at 5-star. That you break off from the big group and start your own, because you'll have enough leaders in which to build a whole new page from. So we just kind of have really cool pages that we cross post in, but it's something that, everybody, your team, I'm imagining, I heard you talking about a team page that you have. So we just use the page to really help segue that conversation for the people who've never sold anything before. I know that most people who start Isagenix don't mean to do a business from it. I know most people don't see themselves as a salesperson. I know most people are terrified to talk to their friends or encourage their friends to buy money. I know this because this is human nature. But what we do is we take that question, that golden question of what are you doing? And we're creating, the buzz on Facebook. We teach people to power post and drip on their wall. And the power post is really important. And the verbiage from the power post, all of that is also trained on. That's another part of the training. And there's no shortage of that information out there in the Isagenix world, right? There's lots of people training on that. What I'm caring about, what I want is the person who's brand new and they're excited to stay excited and keep underwhelmed as much as possible while they're just having their product experience. So then we move from there.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I absolutely want to thank you for sharing with us your simple system, because clearly it works.
I probably overwhelmed you. Does anybody already feel overwhelmed now by Evernote? I know. So if you felt overwhelmed, click the launching tab and take that Evernote training course. My friend Lydia put that together. She's my Evernote guru, and she taught me Evernote, and then she made a little training course that people can take to learn.
The truth of the matter is, we can share that welcome post, because I know many people in Isagenix are sharing your welcome post.
I want everybody to share it. It's my free gift to the Isagenix world, because I know you, Warren, you pounded the pavement in the beginning and you did some really hard stuff for $1. I'm grateful to you for all your hard work in the beginning so that I could just come in and rock it out, with my skill set that I was learning in a different company.
You're certainly rocking it out, and I want to thank you for that. But so we have individuals like, say, Nathan, who's on the line, or Joyce, or whoever it is, that they can share that welcome post. As you said, nothing links back to you.
Right.
You're constantly updating it, and it's something that we can start using immediately. We don't have to download the Evernote app initially.
No, because people can view it without having the app on their phone. So if you don't ever learn Evernote, that's okay. Just have those 3 notes: the welcome note, the support note, and the consultant note that I just put in the tab. They all say tiny.cc with a backslash. After the backslash on the welcome note says welcome to ISA. If anybody wants to write that down. The backslash in the second note is ISA team, all one word. And the backslash in the consultant is I'm a consultant. So if you look in the chat there, you can see the systems. And I keep trying to type my my actual systems note, but I can't seem to do it. So Warren, I sent it to you I just sent it to you.
And I'll post it into our take
Yeah,
action.
you can copy that last text I sent you and paste it somewhere, and that's just my simple systems all ready to share. And it's a gift.
Well, thank you so
Don't
very
say I never gave you anything.
I know. So that being said, I know we have some working to do to go through this. Would you be open, say, a month from now, 6 weeks from now, coming back on as we've been using it and playing with it? And can we have another conversation?
Oh, sure. That's a great idea.
Wonderful. So before we sign off, because I know we've taken a bit of your time up this evening, is there any questions? And I know, just in particular, I know Cherie, you're a very systems-oriented woman, and you're probably understanding what Rachel's doing better than me for sure. Stu's sort of systems-oriented. So those of you that are sort of understanding that what Rachel's doing, do you guys have any questions for Rachel right now before we call it a night?
No, I'm so excited. Like, she's just made it so much simpler, and I'm thrilled. I'm really excited.
Blown away.
I'm going to be playing around with it a little bit in the next 24 hours and really pulling it apart and simplifying, and then I'm going to duplicate it to my team and teach it in mentorship and be really excited because she's got so much business stuff in there that's so simple that people can just go in and accidentally stumble across. I'm excited about that. And I am going to be updating the links once the IsoLife app comes out, just so you know. I'm aware that there's a lot of stuff that they've now put into the IsoLife app. At corporate, they have seen my welcome note a few times, and they keep hearing about it, so they've kind of looked at it. So there's going to even be some stuff taken out, and also things gearing people back towards that IsoLife app, because I'm really excited about that. I had a little bit to do with the development of that. I live local, so sometimes they call me in to do some of these things. And so that is something that I will. So if you continue to use those links, any changes that you see, any changes I make to the master note, you'll just see immediately when you send it. So you don't have to worry about verbiage changes, or like, I just realized just now that I need to add way thins and stuff to the Unpack the Pack Call script. So I'll quickly get that done, and then it'll be seamless. And I have a few people that are saying, hey, there's a broken link, and I can quickly fix it. So if you ever notice anything that's not right or not working, I'm the author. I own the notes. So you can just somehow find me and let me know.
Can I just say something, Rachel? That's one of those things, and I know because you noticed tonight that there was a couple of updates, and I don't know how we do this, because we're obviously a global company, and you may be building just in the U.S. I'm not certain with that, but the U.S. is the only one that gets greens and weight added. So I don't know.
So if you're in a different market, and that is a really great question, you can take my note and you click Save to Note. So Sherry, you're in New Zealand, it sounded like. Cherie?
I'm actually Australian, but I live in Canada.
Australian. Okay, yeah. I actually have a lot of friends in Australia that are using my note too. And what they did is they just created, it says save to Evernote, and you can make any of the changes you want, and then still use that same format, only you're going to have to play with some of the hyperlinks, and you'll need to take away the welcome to IsoLink. That welcome to IsoLink will always bring people back to my master note. So if you create something different, you'll just have your own link that you own. So the first time you save it to your Evernote, that'll create a URL. Is that over your head? What I just said?
I get it.
You'll have your own URL that will then become the note that you manipulate and change, and you can put personalized stuff in there all you want.
Okay.
How about you, Stu? Any questions or comments?
Absolutely blown away. Thank you so much, Rachel. You've made this so easy. I'm just my phone is literally blowing up for my team right now, going, she just gave away the world, and I'm so grateful. It's just now taking this and compiling it and really showing the team exactly how to use it, when to use it, and go through. This is unbelievably simple and duplicatable, probably the best I've ever seen. I appreciate your time and you sharing this so much.
Well, thank you. That is so kind of you to say. I accept all forms of flattery. As you heard from the first introduction. I just, I really do believe that the more that we give, the more that we receive. And if this is something that can help you, that helps Isagenix as a company. And I want to see us get to that $1 billion mark and the billion and beyond mark. I care about this company. I love this company so much. And I'm so honored to be able to help in any way that I can. And this seems to be my little niche.
Well, you've got it dialed in, Rachel. One other quick question before you let you go. Steve says, do you have a prospect link? Do you have something that you use?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely do. It's in, what do you think my housing is?
/prospect.
Okay, so I'm going to post another little Evernote into the chat here in just a second. It's my rolling contact list. I have mine, which I'm not sharing, and then I have the one that's just a random. Let's see if this one has a quick link. Okay, so this is just a note. I'm clicking share note. I am grabbing the link. So this is going to have kind of a long URL, but you can grab it and save it to your Evernote. Let's see, under the chat. Okay, so I do want to speak to something. You said that some people are systems people. So this is my link. If you click on it, that's a rolling contact list. And if you just have a notes, like copy and paste these somewhere so later you can plug them all in if you need to, but copy the whole chat and paste it somewhere, because these are easy links. Now this rolling contact list link is embedded within the I'm a consultant, the third link. So every great note that I ever created is somewhere embedded within these 3 master notes. So really get, like Cherie was saying, get to know them, like study them, know what's in each one, and become versed in it. So when somebody comes to me and says something like, hey, can you use Isagenix when you're pregnant? I say, okay, remember that welcome note I sent you? Let's go back to that. Okay, click on the tools. Okay, now click on isagenixhealth.net. Now type in pregnancy. Do you see all these articles? That's where you go to find all your nerdy science. And from then on, I don't get weird questions like, can this work for people with Crohn's disease? They kind of know. My team knows GTS. Google that stuff. Google it, look for the answer in the notes, and then call me. I'm super happy to help, but I don't like to help people when they can help themselves. The problem is most people don't know where to look. And that becomes the constant problem, is people don't know where to look. So I'm trying to take them back to where to find it so that they can find it again and again, instead of having to call me and say, I'm sorry to bother you with this stupid question. I don't want to hear that. I want people to feel like they know where to find things. So I just try to really make it, this is how my brain works. It might not be for everybody, but it's definitely worked for people who have like a squirrely mind and can't find anything after they saw it once or twice. So I hope somebody in your team really adopts it and runs with it, because it's great. And who's raising their hand? Renee, did you have a question? You have to unmute.
No, you just like basically described me. So I was just like agreeing with you. Like, yeah, that's me. Squirrel.
I know it's real bad. But
thank you. I really appreciate it. Like, it's great. Like, I have such a girl crush on you right now, and you're really funny too.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Come give me a hug at the next event.
Okay.
Well, everyone, again, Rachel, I absolutely want to thank you for your time. What a blessing you've been to this group of individuals. I can't thank you enough. I also just want to put out a little shout. Hey, Joyce, are you there? You guys unmute Joyce, so everyone sees you. You're going to pop up onto the big screen.
I'm here.
Ah, there she is.
We just wanted to say happy birthday to you.
Oh.
Because next week when we're on this call, you're hitting a plateau birthday. I think it's
a
40 now.
milestone. It's
40. No.
Yeah.
So I just want to say happy birthday to you, Joyce.
Thank
And
you.
everyone, have an absolute blessed week. And as Rachel said, this is something new. Start going through the 3 notes. If you guys didn't catch them, we're going to make sure they get posted into that Take Action 2018 and start to go systematically through. It's a process, but once you get it down, it's going to get so much simpler. Because that's the whole objective of Rachel coming out and sharing with us, is sharing a simple system that we can all do that's actually been proven effective. And I love the point, Rachel, because we have it recorded. That's 6 weeks from now. We're going to ask you to come back, and we're going to sort of what about this, and take it to the next level. But I just
That'll be so fun for me, actually, to really, if you guys really dig in and you really learn it, I would love to help you if there was something you were stumbling upon or ways to improve it in any way. I'm always open to that.
Well, beautiful. I'll make sure I arrange that. But with that, everyone, have an absolute blessed week. Rachel, thank you. Thank you, girl.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You bet. Good night, everyone.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Rachel.
Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel. Good night. Thanks so much, Rachel. Absolutely amazing.
Thanks.